Set na. Imi ha. May tok ko supplement. Okay. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Solomon Islands Kurkuru and the Australia Futsal to the field, to the court of play.
Ready? And then let's season the national anthem song. Also,
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Solomon Islands. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Australia.
Off. Yeah, introduce team na. Mnala na otat tikim. Phase 5, then you read the sub. Yeah. Starting 5. Then naman you go through in one way. Otat tikim tu ya brota. I'm le, ba yung reference lang. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the much anticipated match between Solomon Islands Kurukuru and Australian Futsal Ross.
Welcome to Friendship Hall.
Today we're in a packed arena here at Friendship Hall. Obviously everyone's here anticipating a good match between these two teams, respectively known as one of the two powerhouses in the Pacific. Well, one is in Asia actually, but a good occasion here for everyone who's tuning in. I know a lot of our viewers are in Australia, both the Australian supporters and also the Solomon Islanders there. Some of you working, some of you on study purposes. Welcome to the live stream here, and hopefully you're keeping yourself warm and ready for a much anticipated match, which will definitely be a game to behold here in the capital, Honiara, in Solomon Islands. Well, so far we're having the official lineups being read here by the stadium announcer, and so good to see local fans turning up in numbers to support the local boys, as you can see on the screen here, in gold and yellow as the Solomon Islands national futsal team known as Kurukuru. Very young squad this time around, Kurukuru, and under the guidance of the interim coach, none other than Dixon Kadau, who is also one of the only coaches for Solomon Islands to have won a match in the FIFA World Cup. Well, for the Australian Futsal Ross, it's just as game day for them, an important one. An important one that will definitely add value to their preparation for the Asian Futsal tournament, which is coming up. But the men in yellow here, this is what matters with them, especially for 2026. Now we have the game underway already. It's Australian Futsal Ross now in control of the ball, slowly building up momentum. Come in the middle park, they try to look to keep the game more on a two pivot and a target man up front. Taken back by Solomon Islands, Charlie Otinau, one of the well-renowned futsal player in the Solomon Islands. Alvin Ho to Rafael Le'ai, the Solomon Islands professional player played in Europe outdoor associative football. Well, he's taken down by the number 10. The shot here from Australia, close, but not quite. And that calls for a foul actually on Alvin Ho. Intensity grows already early in the match. So we're looking forward to well, on the papers it says Australia had more of the stats according to them. But whenever you play a game of futsal, it's all down to the court. And you have to embrace everything that matters on the court. Jeffrey Bulle for the first time, couldn't make it. A kick in deep inside the Australian half. For Kurukuru, they are banking their attack on the youngster number 7, Rafael Le'ai, who's going to be one of the new faces Australia futsal will face. Otano for the first time. Rafael tries to pick up the loose ball here, couldn't do so. And a corner kick. First one of the match for Solomon Islands. Charlie Oteno for a first time shot, blocked again by Funito Daniel. Daniel Fonito, the number 8 for Australia. Solomon Islands putting pressure early in the first half. Again, ball comes here. Good one from Charlie, drives it low. Jeffrey Bulle couldn't get into the end of it. And Australia out of pressure, build up play from the back. Ethan to Wade Giovinali. Here's one of the well-known faces in the Australian side. Very calm and have the old experience of this player, the number 6. Giovinali Wade, and also good mates of Elliot Ragomo, former Solomon Islands national captain. Well, this is actually the first match where Elliot Ragomo or Michael Elaf or even Jack Whitney will not feature in it. So a history for Solomon Islands, starting with all new players, just with some old players there. Oh, good save here by Anthony Talo, drives it low, whereas Giovinali Wade tries to find that little space between, but Anthony Talo was equally up to the task. Australia deep inside Solomon Islands. Having a shot here again. Blocked by Anthony Talo, cleared by Jeffrey Bulle. And Solomon Islands again finding pressure from Australia. The Futsal Rose, as they are called. Their captain early on mentioned in one of the press conference that Solomon Islands is an exciting side to play, and they're always excited when they play the Solomon Islands. And now Australia in the Solomon Islands half, builds up play. It's Fonte Daniel, tries to find his captain, couldn't do so, but again wins the ball. Giovinali Wade, good ball out here. Jeffrey Bulle, Alvino to beat Australia with a goal. Beautiful finish. It's Daniel Fonito. And already they've registered their first point. And the Solomon Islands Kurukuru, they did a good effort. They tried to block the spaces in between, but the movement was just on spot. And credits to the goal scorer. Actually, it was number 11, D'Amelio Ethan. I think he scored the ball. Good finish by Ethan here. Again, Solomon Islands builds up play on their own half. Ethan, the goal scorer, picks up play. Alwyn Ho now brings it up, tries to find Rafael Lea on the far side. Goes for a shot. Probably tries to spin it back to Jeffrey Bulle. Couldn't do so. Giovinali Wade builds up play. Goes past Alwyn. Charlie Oteno and loses the ball out for a kick-in for Solomon Kurukuru. Intensity. That's all that matters here. A lot of fans here calling on the players. And first time for Solomon Islands to witness an international feature here. And back in 2008, I believe, Spain did make an effort, try to see the possibilities of coming over and playing the Solomon Islands Kurukuru. But it wasn't successful as there was no proper court. But now Solomon Islands have everything that needs to have for a international feature. And just like that, we're talking here in Friendship Hall, Solomon Islands' very own futsal court here. And a quick shuttle of changes here by the Australian team, looking to keep their team as fresh as possible. This is the first match out of the 3 matches here, made possible by the Australian government through the PacificAus Sport. Australia in the just outside their own area tries to put more pressure on the Solomon Islands team. Not a good ball by Guerrero Jordan. He tries to find his captain there on that occasion, couldn't do so. Jeffrey Bulle goes to this is one of the Kurukuru still existent player, Misitana, who's been excellent playing as a fixo. Probably in this game he will be playing more on the wing. Clifford Misitana, the player from Matax, one of the local renowned futsal club here in the Solomon Islands. Again, builds up play is Misitana, tries to call for a pass back there. So the rules on the futsal is quite basic. If we started from the goalkeeper, we have to get the ball out of the halfway before we can go back to the goalkeeper or get a touch from the opponent to enable play. Charlie Oteno steals ball, goes for a check, goes for a shot. And a good block there by the number 14, Jamie Dub. And Solomon Islands already have around 4 shots on target. Goes to show the intensity of the game. And good contrast of color as well. Yellow against deep blue, almost black. Ellis tries to 10-1, couldn't do so. Defends well. Jamie deep with the ball now, finds Rogan. Rogan again. Oh, good chip here by Guerrero Jordan. Anthony Talo off his lines and makes that important save. So a lot of Solomon Islanders in Australia are tuning in on this live stream. Hello to you, wherever you're watching. Hopefully you're enjoying one of our, if not the only first actual international feature here in the Solomon Islands. So history tonight, and we're looking forward to the next two matches as well. But so far, if you just tuned in, it's Australia Futsal Ross leading 1-0. We're approximately 5 minutes, approaching 5 minutes into the first half, and Australia leading, not comfortably actually. Solomon Islands has put all the pressure as much as they can. And Australia with a free kick inside the Solomon Islands half. And not a good pass here by Jamie. Tries to find Daniel, couldn't do so. And again, Solomon Islands loses ball. Australia Futsal Ross to start a kick in just almost to the corner line, and they build play from the back. They're looking to have still keep the two pivots and two target man probably in the way, tries to change to a static game. So far, this is working well for them. They're going to keep it and try to move the ball into the other half. Again, Alvin Ho picks up play, goes past one, couldn't go to the other, and picked up by Jordan Guerrero, who's not the tallest player on the court, but very physical, this player, and got quite some good sets of skills, this play here. Again, tried to go past Alvin Ho, couldn't do so. The local fans here so far loving the action here. Elisman of Matax tries to close down the Australian defense here. Oh, not good. Alvin Ho picks up play. Can he score? Unfortunately close, but not quite. And that was the moments where Solomon Islands need to capitalize on such occasion. They know really well, especially Alvin Ho, that he should have done better on that. A shot here. Visitana tries to win the ball back, managed to do so, pulls it out wide. He's a left feet, so he's comfortable playing the ball on as far as he can. Oh, not a good ball here by Alvin, loses it out. And taken carefully by Jamie. Finds Geoff or Rogan on the far side. Solomon Islands jiggle with pressure here. Builds up plays. Alvin Ho beats 1-2 players. 3 defense standing. Ellis Mana plays it. Not a good ball here. Long one. Anthony Talo takes it on the chest. Brings it out play. Solomon Islands crowds are waving in support. Good build-up play from Ellis Mana. Back to Misitana. Not a good ball here. And now Australia got a little breather from that few period of pressing from Solomon Islands team under the interim coach Dixon Kadau. They look like a new force to be reckoned with. And so there's a lot of comments from the local supporters regarding the new breed of players that Solomon Islands have brought in. A lot of them just came out of the league, and majority of them was from the President Cup, which just finished last week. And so big credits to PacificAus Sport for organizing such a fabulous series of futsal matches. They've done first one in Australia, now this is the second of the series, and local fans are graced by this occasion here. And so rightfully too, because of the magnitude of this game. Australia Futsal Ross is a powerhouse in the Asian futsal setup, and so Solomon Islands, the former reigning champions of the Pacific, losing to the Futsal White in the previous or the latest Futsal World Cup qualifiers. Australia again builds a play. Misitana tries to hold up play, couldn't do so. A foul here. Strong player here, the number 9 for Australia Futsal Ross, Lynch Grant. Very physical player, got experience behind him as well. And he's the man, they call him the target man, so give him a space and he'll punish you anytime. Now he's got the ball here. Elismana or Sammy on that occasion tries to close him down. A ball back here, Australia again, shot, and a good block here by Anthony Talo. Another familiar face on the Kurukuru side. He's full of experience, this player. Played in the Beach Soccer World Cup, played in the Futsal World Cup, and also part of the Associative National Futsal team. Now Sami tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Talo picks up ball again. Alvin Ho and Solomon Islands youngster here, Jason Timmy. Good to see a young player coming through the ranks here. In fact, around 80% of this Kurukuru team is all youngsters. Sami here couldn't get the ball under his control. What a night for Dixon Kadau, the interim coach, taking back what is considered as a lost project here at Kurukuru. Their dominance overclouded by the Futsal Whites. So it's like a new breed. And I spoke of someone's very dangerous. That's him there, the number 9, Grant Lynch. He can punish you from any angle. Just don't give him the space. Rafael Lea is back on the court. Sami to Rafael. He tries to turn, tries to go past his opposition, number 12, Ahmed Sweden, who's very tall, this player, and quite fragile as well. Not in a bad sense, but in a more agile way, I would express. Australia building a play from the back, more confident, I would say. Getting the feel to it. Solomon Islands tried to steal the ball. Rafael tries to check for the referee if there was a pull on the jersey. No, the referee signals it's all fair. And so the local fans here are glued to this match here, and they know what to expect. Now Rafael, one player to beat. Can he beat him now? Tries to go past 1, 2 players. Couldn't do so. Wins a foul in the process. We have to check. I think that could be the 3rd foul here. In a game of futsal, if you've reached 5 fouls, you automatically have a 10-meter penalty. So that is one of the interesting parts of futsal. And depending on how smart you can organize yourself in getting the fouls, you might just get a free shooting opportunity based on how many fouls you've gained. And on this occasion, it's Rafael Leai who collects the foul. Sami plays it to Alvin Ho, tries to block, go for a shot here. Now Australia through the skipper. Anthony Talo comes up way out of his line, but a brilliant move there by Anthony Talo. Saves the day, well, for now. Otherwise, Dominic of the Futsal Ross would have punished Kurukuru on that occasion. Great atmosphere here, all the supporters anticipating and in intense support for their local national team, Solomon Islands Kurukuru. A shot coming in from the Futsal Rose. Albin Ho taking it carefully, 3 players around him, goes past 1, goes for the far one, Dandan not on time. He knew there was the space. Alvin Ho, it will be interesting to see if Alvin Ho is going to play tomorrow. He's also part of the Solomon Warriors outdoor or associative football team in an OFC Champions League 2024 playoff. But he's prioritizing national duty today, playing for the Solomon Islands Kurukuru team. Australia Futsal Rose builds a play through their captain on the halfway line. Now they introduce again Giovanni Wade, who's always a threat whenever he's on the court. I think it's a timeout here being called by the Kurukuru coach, the interim coach Dixon Kadau, and probably a moment to allow players both on each side to have 1 minute just to go through their discussions on how the match has progressed so far. Well, to me, Kurukuru, the Solomon Islands Kurukuru, they have all the opportunities there. On few occasions, they could have gotten 1 goal back. But now it comes down to them being patient, and still the score is locked at 1-0. Australia leading, not too comfortable here because Solomon Islands is chasing them down. And it shows the competitive edge to this game so far. Well, if you're tuning in from around the Pacific, welcome to the futsal match here, the international friendly here between Australian Futsal Roars and Solomon Islands Kurukuru. For those of you local fans around Honiara, around the provinces, special shout out to the ones in the hospitals as well. They are tuning in to watch their local heroes. And I've mentioned earlier, Solomon Islands Kurukuru, without the service of Michael Lealafa, Elliot Regomo, and some of the big names, they decided to go for a younger squad. And this is part of the development that interim coach Dixon Kadau is leading. But for Australia, they are gearing up for the Asian challenge that they have ahead as well, with a lot of teams that they will play. And Solomon Islands is one of the best tests for them, given that the players here very skillful. And almost a mistake there by Sammy on his, what he conceived as a pass back, or he tries to let the ball goes back to Anthony Talo. Almost cost him there. And now Rafael steals the ball to Sami. Missed cue here by the player. And in the game of futsal, these little patches, they tells you the story. And a loss of concentration perhaps. Alvin Ho now defend well. Captain for Australia, haven't gone out for a substitution yet. As one of the top players here, and especially this one here, Giovanni Wade. Solomon Islands for a goal throw here from Anthony Talo. Decides to wind up play here. A kick in here, deep inside the Australian half for Solomon Islands Kurukuru. Rafael to Alvin Ho. Alvin Ho tries to find Dandan, couldn't do so. It's 2 against 2. Good take here by Alvin Ho. Excellent defending there. He thought that was the last touch of the Australian Futsal Roars player, but it was actually on him. So the referee decides it's a throw, or kick in actually here in the court against Solomon Islands. A kick in for Australia Futsal Roars. Ball comes in, the captain here tries to turn around. Probably should have passed it to Giovanni Wade, who was open, waiting for that pass. And pressure probably just mounting up on the captain, and he couldn't find his final passes here. Again, Australia. Oh, good ball here. Anthony Talo collects. Solomon Islands with a breakaway. It's Rafael Lea. First time here going for a space. Here going for a shot. Rebounded off. The crowd was left jumping. Thought it was a goal. And Australia again escaped a near goal. And they build up play again from that corner. Solomon Islands showing signs of positive approach here. Can they continue on this one? Australia knows really well what to expect now. But this man with the ball, he's dangerous and he's unpredictable. Rafael Leai. Again, good ball here from the Futsal Roars team. Solomon Islands need to be more organized in blocking the passing lines. But it's for the Australia Futsal Roars. They know what they're doing. And they try to pick up the passes in between, because I think they can see there's a transition being made by the Kurukuru team, which open up the front defense line. And they are capitalizing on this occasion. Jones Ryan finds the captain again. 10, Juvenile Wide. Checks, tried to control the ball, probably just steered into the goal. Couldn't do so. Now the captain, Jeffrey Boulay, finds Charlie Oteno, retains it to Boulay. Oteno still with the ball, goes back to Alvin Ho. And on the court as well is the number 9, J-Roll Party, one of the new players here. Not a good pass by Party, intercepted by the captain. And the Australian captain decides to go for a breather. Futsal building a play, doing circles now and changing direction, momentum, a little bit of figure eight and static play here. But they try to do their rotations really well, and their target man is making all the moves here. Solomon Islands more composed with a zone defense and slowly creeping up. Try to capitalize on all the areas. Charlie Ote now steals the ball. Not a good pass by him. Australia now on the counter attack, 3 against 2. They're going for a shot and a goal. Great goal here by the number 8, Daniel Fonito. And they will make a mistake and they will punish you. They definitely punish Solomon Islands on that occasion. And Australia now leading 2-0. Solomon Islands chasing the game. They have performed really well so far, the Solomon Islands Kurkuru. But take no regards away, the Australia Futsal Rose, with their experience, with their team composure, they have soaked up the pressure. And when they needed to score, they definitely delivered. Alvin Ho tries to put a long, audacious ball into the Australian defense. Couldn't do so. We're 15 minutes into the game. 5 more minutes and we will see a halftime break. But it's Australia Futsal Rose leading 2-0. Solomon Islands Kurkuru needs to find themselves a goal back here so that they can be on good terms going into the break. And if there's anything to happen, it will happen through this kind of situation. And Charlie Otena tries to play an early ball here. Blocked again. Another opportunity went begging. Two opportunities here. Great chances. But credit to the Australian defense. They were solid. They were on focus the whole time. Alvin Ho picks out Patti. Back to Alvin Ho. Tries to find Jeffrey Boulay. Goes for the far side. Tries to squeeze the ball back into the half. Australian Futsal Rose defending well, intense. Alvin Ho with a shot here, rebounded off an Australian player and a kick in deep inside the Australian half. They brought back in Rafael Le'a is coming in here already, going for a shot again. And whistles over the bar. Again, Rafael Le'a going for another shot and a beautiful goal. Fantastic finish. That's what they brought him in the squad for. And he has shown his capabilities. The Koyo lad, who's well known in the associative football, he has now just shown himself in the Solomon Islands Kurkuru lineup. Very focused, this young man. And I've mentioned earlier on that the Futsal Rose will definitely need to handle Rafael Le'a, and this is what I was talking about. Brilliant player. Solomon Islands 1, Australia 2. Game on. Australia again back to, almost an own goal here. And close one there. Charlie Otenau managed to save it by himself in the last minute. Approaching 17 minutes into the game. Australia leading 2-1. But take no... It's the Solomon Islands that are counting pressure here. Rafael again tries to sprint up. Couldn't do so, but still managed to put that important pressure on the Australian goalkeeper, resulting in a kick-in inside the Australian half. Solomon fans are loving it so far with the exciting Rafael Le'a, who has definitely brought up some joy with his goal. Alvin Ho tries to squeeze in this one here, couldn't do so. Breaks here and still open up a kick-in or throw-in for Solomon Islands. Anthony Talo. Quite fascinated by Anthony Talo's transformation. 2 weeks ago, I've seen him around this court. He had some weight on him, but then tonight he looks in top mint condition, this player. So probably shows dedication and a little bit of motivation from the veteran goalkeeper, Anthony Talo, who many remembered him for his flamboyant winning goal against Guatemala in that FIFA World Cup, the only win for Solomon Islands. But look at the Australian side. They have managed their players really well. Compared to the Solomon Island side, I have seen a much more smooth transition between the substitution for the Australian team. They know really well that they have 2 more games. And right now it's all about managing themselves, putting in the right players at the right time. When you have a 3-match fixture coming up, 2 more matches on the line, you definitely to, as much as possible, manage the game well, also manage your players well. Well, a big thanks to the Australian government through the PacificAus Sport for enabling us fellow Solomon Islanders around here to see such international feature here. And of course, a lot of the countrymen and women are pleased with what the PacificAus Sport has done for Solomon Islands in terms of such opportunities like this to have the Futsal Rose here here in Honiara, Solomon Islands. Build up play here. Anthony Talo just decides to say it play off. Futsal Rose leading 1 goal. 1 goal difference between both teams. The lead 2-1. Again, Rafael tries to win another foul here. Mentioned earlier, Solomon Islands already had 3 fouls, probably 4 already. They just need 2 more to get a 10-meter penalty. While Futsal Rose also know they need to manage themselves. Going into the second half is important. And this man here, Giovanni Wade. Oh, a close strike here by the number 9, the target man, Grant. Leave no space for this man, the number 9 for Futsal Rose. He can punish you anytime. And now introduction here, Rafael, 1 more player, tries to go past the number 5, Guerrero Jordan of Futsal Rose, couldn't do so. Solomon Islands now introduce Junior Sam. Charlie Otena, Alvin Ho teaming up really well. Still with the ball here. Charlie Otena finds Junior Sam, goes back, break it to Alvin Ho with the first shot. Oh, Thompson. I think Rafael already see where the ball was heading to, but blocked there by Australian Futsal Rose defender on the last minute. Guerrero Jordan. A shot here from Charlie Otena, regarded as Solomon Islands' most dangerous player by the coach for Australia, Oni Miles. Make few reference on Charlie Otena as one of the Solomon Islands' top players, and rightfully so. Oh, good. Tries to go through the nutmeg here on Anthony Talo on that occasion. Grant, full of experience, this number 9 for Futsal Rose. Now we 1 more minute before the halftime. And so far, intense game, close encounter. Oh, almost getting a goal there is the Australian again through Ahmed, Sweden. I think it's another timeout here called by the Australian coach, Oni Miles, just to reorganize, reshuffle things, and probably give the important direction into the game and see what's going to happen and what needs to change, And so far, it's been an awesome, intense game between Solomon Islands and Australian Futsal Rose. Well, big thanks to PacificAus Sport for enabling us to have such international friendly here. And obviously, the Australian government with the Solomon Islands government connection. Now we can see a world-class team like Australia here in our local grounds, the Friendship Hall. And we're enjoying this match so far. Australia leading Solomon Islands 2-1. Close game so far in the likings of the Futsal Rose. But for the interim head coach, Dixon Cadau, maybe this is what he needs to set up his team for the next 2 series of matches. And so, important game here so far, the first half. As many has anticipated. And the golden boy or the golden man of the hour, Rafael Le'ai, is the one who got 1 back for Solomon Islands. Good turnout here from the local fans supporting Kurukuru. Australia to start from the kickoff. Rafael Le'ai now collects the ball, brings it to Junior Sam, tries to go past 1, not a good first touch here. Rafael chases down the ball, tries to win it back, managed to do so. It's Junior Sam again, tries to play back Alvin Ho, not a good pass here. the number 10 for Solomon Islands, Junior Sam. He was also in the Kurkuru team that went to Australia. Is one of the youngest player that went with Kurkuru. Now, if you look at the approach here, he's the one with the experience now. Oh, good 10 here by the number 4, Dominic. And it's Junior Sam here. Can he squeeze it to Rafael? Oh, couldn't do so. Goalkeeper was equally up to the task. Some of the fans were standing up, thought there was going to be a goal here. And the scoreline, however, is a good one for Solomon Islands in terms of coming down from 2 goals to get 1 back. A shot here blocked by Australian Futsal Ross defense. Alvin Ho calling for the ball. He's open wide. And they have it. Oh, and a shot not close to the goal at all. And wasted opportunity here. Quite a refreshing team here, the Kurkuru team. Unlike previous team, they usually keep majority of their starting 5. This team decides to make a change where they introduce a lot of their new players here. So good to have such a break or a refreshed look at Kurkuru's side. And there you are, the halftime score. Australian Futsal Ross 2, Solomon Islands 1. And an intense encounter in the first half. And thanks to PacificAus Sport through the Australian government for having such an opportunity for Solomon Islands to watch Australia against Solomon Islands. And today, everyone's enjoying the game. Well, we'll be back with more commentary after the break. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the second half. Yes, and welcome back to the second half of the match. Solomon Islands Kurukuru against Australia Futsal Ross. Good first half so far, with Solomon Islands trailing 1 goal here. Australia Futsal Ross looking to start the 3-match series with a win here. But the same object is also for the Solomon Kurukuru under the interim coach Dixon Kadau. Well, so far for the first half, the pickouts for me is Alwyn Ho. He has been excellent for Solomon Islands, the number 2. Played all the passes and moved the ball really well on the court. And again, Rafael Le'ai is the next player next to him who has definitely put a show on here. And then for Australia, it's the reliable Giovanni Wade who has been exceptional, keeping the ball, shaping it, and also influencing the game. But their captain is one player that you definitely need to put as much pressure on him, otherwise he creates goal out of nothing, and deservedly well too. He's a very outstanding player. Well, join me back again, Solomon Islands Kurukuru and Australia Futsal Ross. Wherever you're tuning into this live stream, a lot from Gatton in Australia, Sydney, Auckland. Good evening to you all, and also to our supporters of the Futsal Ross team. Good evening from Solomon Islands. It's approximately almost 7 p.m. now, local time here in Honiara, the capital, and we're enjoying the game so far. Kurukuru again, early pressure here from Australia. Almost resulting in a goal here too, but good block here by the Kurukuru reliable Anthony Talo. They build a play from the back. Sami to Alvin Ho. Tries to go into the Australian half. Sami again to Alvin Ho. Rafael Lea, can he turn one player? He tries to go past him. Not a good ball from him. He realized that he did push it too hard and probably should have opted to go back and start from Alvin Ho. Again, Australia, 2 players up front. Solomon Islands need to track these players on free, and a shot here. Good block here by Anthony Talo. Australian Futsal Ross, they know what's at stake. To get a good first result in the first game would definitely put things into perspective for the next 2 important matches coming up. A corner kick for Futsal Ross. Tries to get the ball into here. The number 11 tries to go for a shot. Rafael Lea has 3 players. Goes for the first time. Maybe too much power on that one, or weight on that ball here. And Alvin Ho is not too pleased with that one. Again, Australia, Ethan Di Mello. He's one of the players to watch in this 5 currently on the court now. The number 11, Ethan, he's now with the ball here. Goes across to Jamie. Tries to find the escaper. Back to Ethan. Beats Rafael on the process. Again, goes past Charlie Ote now and tries to go through the defense with a toe poke shot here. Good last minute save by Anthony Talo. Again, the reflexes from the veteran goalkeeper, Anthony Talo, is second to none. Is why he's the best in Solomon Islands and also the Pacific region for his outstanding reflexes. And speaking of experience, he has all the experience under his belt, having played in the Futsal World Cup, the Beach Soccer World Cup, and also featured in the World Cup qualifiers for the associated football. So he's a man with experience and definitely a right player to have in your squad as drafted by Dixon Kadau. This is a foul here. It's a push from Sami of Solomon Islands Kurukuru team. A little bit of shove there by Sami Kiri, the number 11 for Solomon Islands, and resulting in a foul, the first foul of the game. And mind you, having conceding, or if you have 5 fouls, that will result in a 10-meter penalty. And so they definitely need to keep that in mind. Standing over the ball is the number 9, Daniel Fonito. Rather, number 8, Daniel Fonito. He's got a very strange way of taking a free kick. Probably the ball is rolling, so he decides to go on and brings it back. And the referee gives him a little bit of advice. Why not you put the ball next to the line where you think it's rolling from? And time to settle down. Plays it early. It's Rafael Lea now. He's going, oh, just not a good take from his left foot there. I think he tried to roll the ball, caught it too early. Just imagine if he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. The crowd was already anticipating what could have happened. And speaking of the crowd, good to see a lot of mixture here. Local Solomon Islanders coming in numbers, especially in the second half. Probably many have work to do in the early evening part of the day. So now we see a more spectators coming in, families, little kids. Probably tonight would be someone's inspirational night to be a futsal player, who knows. But that is why we appreciate PacificAus Sport to Australian government for creating such a historical moment here. And all Solomon Islands futsal fans should be proud and thankful for such international opportunity made possible through PacificAus Sport. Futsal was now with an early throw here. Oh, good turn here by the number 8, Daniel, but not on Alvin Ho's radar. Alvin Ho, who has been outstanding, plays for Solomon Warriors in the Associated Football and plays for Salt. If I get it right now, Rafael Lea sprints out play, tries to go for the first time shot, decides to go back to Charlie Otena, donning that famous number 3, which was worn almost all the time by Eliot Ragomo, the legend of a player from Solomon Islands. Rafael tries to turn the number 8, couldn't do so. Daniel Fonito of Futsal Rose, who is well versed now, especially with an experience in the first half against Rafael Lea, probably knows what this player is capable of. And again, Australia builds a play for an early shot here, still ball in play. Now it's going out for a kick in for Australia. Deep, well, not deep actually, just outside of the Solomon Islands half. A lot of intensity here, not by players, but by supporters as well. You can tell deep inside they want a result for a win here. Oh, a roll here from Grant. Tries to find Giovanali, but couldn't get him on target. And Alvin Ho just giving a little bit of call to the referee that he has experienced a few pulls of the shirt from the number 9, Grant. The referee says it's part of the game, just get on with it. Now, introduction of Jeffrey Boule, the Solomon Islands keeper. And interestingly, Jeffrey Boule has a younger brother who used to play for Kurukuru, who was very skillful. Dixon Ramo, who no longer plays now, is a tradesman by profession and lives somewhere in Brisbane, Australia. And past few days too, the Australian futsal team went to G Camp, where they experienced a little bit of a Solomon Islands. And speaking of experiencing a little bit of Solomon Islands, they almost got a goal there on the occasion. The defense here, the concentration from the Solomon Islands team need to be on point. And speaking of concentration, now Australia has a corner. They'll go into rotation here, tries to get momentum. The main purpose of doing this circulation of play is trying to put the defenders to go out of position. And for Solomon Islands, if they can maintain their position, that could be one of their key elements. Islands is on the counter-attack. There's 3 against 2. Boule goes for the other side, finds Charlie Otena. Not a good ball from him. Probably a little late here by the veteran skipper, Jeffrey Boule, who, to be honest, is in perfect shape compared to previous tournament where he came on the Kurukuru team. Good block here now. Alvin Ho raises up, tries to go past Giovanni Wade, who knows really well the capabilities of the Solomon Islander. having played him in the first series as well. We're 5 minutes into the second half, and Australia leading 2-1. Solomon Islands still trailing, but they look more like a team that might concede here because Australia is getting into their mood, their rhythm. And speaking of rhythm, here's one player. You don't want him to have the ball, Jamie Dibb. He can create something out of nothing. Sweden Ahmed tries to find time. Anthony Talo goes for Charlie Otinao, holds back play, checks, going for a shot here, and a good save here by the goalkeeper. Baudolato Dominic. Excellent save by the veteran goalkeeper who's been there, done it on all occasions. Charlie Otinao again, a shot. Described by the Australian coach O'Neill Miles as Solomon Islands' #1 dangerous player. That's him living up to it. Alvin Hogan shot shaping well, blocked again. Solomon Islands with a couple of ripple shots here. Looks to find space here for probably a chance here. Again, Otenao with some skill, fast feet, movements of the ball, but again, well read by Taylor Gardner, who knows really well the capabilities of this man wearing the #3, the iconic Elite Ragomos number. Misitana now has been introduced in the court. Solomon Islands chasing two Futsalos player. Good rotation here by the Australian side. They look more composed here. Now they're playing static, changing almost into a figure 8. Back to the traditional diamond formation. And almost going through was Taylor Garner. But then also wins a foul here. Charlie Otenao wasn't too pleased. Thought he was winning the ball there. Ahmed, Sweden to start the game. We have Solomon Islands, Jeffrey Bull, Mesitana, Alvin Ho, and Otenao in the field. While Futsal Rose maintain a solid 5. Just change with Giovanni Wade. Builds up play the Australian side into the Solomon Islands half. They love to do it. They love to put pressure and mountly squeeze it into the opponent's half. But again, missed passes by the Australian team. And Solomon Islands, through their support, the local crowd, can they get one back here? Important, especially we're approaching 7 minutes now. We're 7 minutes into the second half. Australia leading 1-1 difference actually. They are 2 goals, Solomon Islands on 1. So a goal difference, that's all that stood in the way. Australia build a play from their own half. Goes for a traditional static game. Not a good pass there by the number 14, Jamie Dibb. Elismana, and to his Matax playmate, Misitana. Albinho is the man who Kurukuru decides to keep the back and stay longer than all of the players, probably because he's the fixer here. He's the one pulling the strings. But can he pull that deadly string which will result in a goal? That's the question they will be asking for Australia. They are banking on this number 14, Jamie Dibb. Oh, close one here by the Australian number 12, Sweden Ahmed. Solomon Islands, again, close, almost conceding another goal here. And in such time, another goal will definitely cause more pressure getting back into the game. Kurukuru again tries to win the ball here. 2 against 1. It's 1 against 3 defenders. Patti. And I think this is going to be a foul. Clearly in front of the referee. A animated Alvin Ho. He's not happy. He's not keen with such fouls. And also he's been booked by the referee. The most reliable Solomon Islander player, Alvin Ho, probably been booked for his aggressive reaction, but blame no one here. I think he has the right to do so with such intense tackle. He's doing what we call a skipper's role. But for Australia, they know really well that they need to get into the rather Solomon Islands Kurukuru's minds and try to manipulate them just to have enough time to be disturbed. Rafael for a shot here, shells past the goal. He's looking to be on fire here. This number 7 for Solomon Islands, Rafael. Again, Futsal Rose, build up play. They're leading 2-1. Try to get one more here, and they could definitely control the game a little bit more. But for now, it's the Solomon Islands Kurukuru chasing the game. A big thank you from the local supporters to PacificAus Sport for making this possible through the Australian government. A good ball here from Anthony Talo. Rafael, one player to beat, checks, goes for a shot, blocked again, and double defended by 2 Futsal Rose players deep inside the half. And I think it's a call from interim coach Dixon Cadell for a timeout and 1 minute to allow both teams to have a breath and structure play again. For those of you watching from afar out in the Pacific region, maybe out more further out into the Asian region, probably European, hello and good evening to you from Solomon Islands. Hopefully you're enjoying the match so far with the local supporters backing Solomon Islands Kurukuru and the visiting team Australia Futsal Rose in what we classified as a much anticipated match. There will be 3 matches here. This is the first of the 3. And what a way to spend your evening, your Wednesday evening, just coming out of your work. Come and enjoy a beautiful, awesome, intense game of futsal being played in front of the local fans. And obviously tomorrow we'll be joining the OFC Champions League 2024 playoff as well. So for Solomon Islands, I think it's a week highly booked with a lot of football, futsal. And so this is what the local fans decide, and there they have it. Big thanks to PacificAus Sport again for enabling such international match, to the Australian government, and I believe the Solomon Islands Football Federation to be thanked here and mentioned here too for making such fine achievements. Now we have a lot of friendly matches coming here, and with such facilities like Friendship Hall, definitely we're going to have a lot of matches coming in. Again, Solomon Islands Road, Charlie Ote now. What a shot here. Blocked as Jeffrey Bulle sprints out with Charlie Ote now. The goalkeeper probably collects an injury here. Calls for the medical team. The Australian Futsal Rose are building their team as well for the Asian Cup that is coming up. And for Solomon Kurukuru, it is the objective to go back to the FIFA World Cup that is ringing on their ears. And I think the goalkeeper just being applauded by the supporters. That's what you get from Solomon Islands. You play good futsal, they love you, despite of whatever country you come from. It's all about the game. And speaking of the game, again, I have to mention PacificAus Sport for their awesome opportunity created here. The local fans are now enjoying such international friendly. As we dive back into it, it's Australia Futsal Rose building a play deep inside Solomon Islands half. Rafael marking well. Futsal Rose also taking a step up with their tempo. Solomon Islands can capitalize here. Not a good ball here. I think almost a kick in for Solomons. Now it's for Futsal Rose. The goalkeeper comes back on. He's feeling well now. He's a veteran goalkeeper. He knows really well Solomon Islands is like. And speaking of what they are like, I think the interim coach Dixon Carrao probably suggested a little bit of faster approach by the Solomon team, so they are speeding up their wheels. We'll see if the friction from the brake lights of the Australian team can catch up with the speed here. Now Solomon Islands going through a strong tackle here by the number 13, Ate Ibrahim. Probably not to the likings of the supporters, but fair tackle according to the referee. Oh, what a turn here by Rafael Lea. Tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Australia capitalizes on this one. Wins back ball. Alvin Ho probably got injured on this occasion. And he's not too keen here. The number 2 for Solomon Islands, Alvin Ho, not too happy with Abraham Atai from Australia. And they're calling on the ball boys, or rather, this boy has the duty of cleaning the court. And probably will go back home and tell of his friends and families that, hey, I get to clean the court for Australia and Solomon Islands, a history game or historical match. Game on. Solomon Islands still 1 goal. Australia comfortable, maybe, perhaps, with 2 goals. Rafael Air checks. 3 players now trying to mark Rafael. Good ball here by Alwin. Tries to find Rafael Air. Couldn't do so. Again, Misitana stills. Tries to go back to Rafael Air. Couldn't do so. It's the captain of the Futsal Rose now bringing play in. This is very dangerous now. They might have well conceived almost 3 fouls now. So Solomon Islands need to watch carefully, or tread carefully, I would say. Again, the boy with the towels. He's on the court again, cleaning up. He's from Cookstown, by the way, so a local community down in Honiara, well known for producing some of the best footballers like Gagame Feni, Brian Feni, Batram Suri. If you know football in Solomon Islands, those names are the household names. Oh, good tenure by Australia again. The number 5 going for a shot here, blocked by Anthony Tallo. Brilliant save there by Anthony Tallo, but again, Guredo Jordan, he's everything here for the Futsal Rose. He's got the pace, got the height. Speaking of height, he's short, but that's what you want in a player that moves around well on the center of gravity as low as him. Rafael Air tries to close. The Australian still going for a shot on the far side. Anthony Tallo saves again. Long one here from Solomon Islands. Alvin Ho. It's 3 players now. Misitana and his teammates from Matax. Elismana closes down. Oh, a little bit of slip there by Giovanni Wade, resulting in a pressure release for Solomon Islands. Elismana, 2 players with him. Goes back to this one of the new stars here, the number 4, Billy Afi, who has been drafted into the Kurkuru side. Good ball by Elismana, only 1 player. Can Rafael 10? No, checks back. Still keeps the ball well. Wins a throw, or a kick in rather. Sorry to mix up other terms here. It's not football, it's futsal. Rather, it's the new player here, Billy Afi. The number 4 used to be worn by George Stevenson, one of the experienced Kurkuru player. We're 12 minutes into the game. Australia 2, Solomon Islands 1. Intense match for a first game of the series. If you definitely miss out on this one and you want to join the fun, definitely come on the next one on Friday and enjoy this game here. Nothing beats a good evening, sitting down, enjoying probably a cup of coffee. There's some chips at the back and enjoying a good, awesome futsal game here. And courtesy thanks to Australian government with PacificAus Sport for enabling such evening. And mind you, I might get a barbecue next weekend or next match here just to enjoy this view here and enjoy such quality futsal here. Well, speaking of quality futsal, that's the man with the ball here, the number 5, Guredo Jordan. He's been brilliant, this player. Futsal Rose in control of the game. Speaking of brilliancy, that almost fine ball. Billy Afi to Elismana to Rafael. Can he go past one? Tries to beat the goalkeeper. Couldn't do so. Experience counting there from the Australian futsal goalkeeper, but Rafael was equally up to the task. Solomon Islands first professional player in Europe. And speaking of professionalism, you can tell by the way he moves on the court. He's a product of futsal, but now he's also played outdoor. Hails from the Koyo part of Malaita province. He knows his way how to dance with the ball. And equally up to it, Australia, if you see the lineup, they managed to keep Guerrero Jordan yet. He's still on the court. Now he's going for a change here, and equally up to the task is his replacement, Rogan. Now with the ball, the number 7 for Futsal Ross. Drives it in, back to Jamie Dibb. Back to Rogan, back to Jamie Dibb. Good combination here by Rogan and Jamie. But Solomon Islands closely pressing the game. Not a good ball here by the number 8, Daniel Fonito. Probably too much weight on the ball. Sails over his playmate. Anthony Talo collects the ball. The experienced goalkeeper for Solomon Islands. Rafaelea tries to go past one. Couldn't do so. Australia now counter attack. Goes find Rogan. Rogan able to beat. Talo saves. Brilliant save here again. And speaking of, oh, that's a very audacious attack. Tackle, I would say. And a straight yellow card. The referee decides, no, that's not a clean play. And gives it out for a foul against Solomon Islands. 14 minutes into the game. So we have about approximately 6 minutes of regular time before we have the final call, whether it's the end of the game or we probably could have an additional time. We'll have to see, depending on the officials. What a night here. A historical night here. A first international fixture. Back in 2008 or 2009, I think the Spain national team inquired about coming over to Solomon Islands. Didn't eventuate it. Now we have Australia here, Futsal Ross. And what a great moment to be a futsal player, supporter in the Solomon Islands. Again, good clearance here by Anthony Talo. Australia building up momentum here in Solomon Islands half. Oh, good block here, Rafaelea. Can he go past one? Couldn't do so. Ellis Mana, Rafaelea here. Checks back again. Decides to go. Spins it way here. Tries to go back. Kick in here for Solomon Islands. Kurukuru deep inside the Futsal Rose half. Crowd anticipating a goal here perhaps from the youngsters. Rafael checks, goes back to Alvin Ho. Finds Ellis Mana, tries to play Billy Afi, the new kid on the block. He decides to go long, back to Anthony Talo. Solomon Islands need to watch their defense really well. This Australian Futsal Rose, very good at their transition. And probably one of their key elements or their strength to this team here. Rogan on the far side, goes Billy to beat. Good defending by Billy Afi, the new kid. Futsalers have a kick in deep inside the Solomon Islands half. For Kurukuru, they know really well if they get a goal back here, they would definitely have a chance of going for probably a winner here perhaps. It's a first game of the series. Would be nice to have a good result here. But speaking of result, to have a scoreline of 2-1 is an excellent result. And Alvin Ho probably tried to just nutmeg the number 2 for, well, not number 2 actually, number 12 I would say, probably. I have to check. Number 2 actually, Ghana Taylor of Futsal Ross. Now Rogan with the ball, goes back to Jamie Deeb. Combination play there. Again, Ghana equally attempting to it is Rafael Le'ai. Walking as a defender, as an attacker, and that's what you get for futsal players. They're very good in both occasions. The Australian goalkeeper, Dominic, very experienced goalkeeper. Now he's with the ball here. Continues to give instruction to his team. Ethan being introduced again. The captain now back on the court for quite some time now. I haven't seen him back here. He's back on the court now. Ethan. Ellis Mana to beat. Managed to do so. Brilliant ball. Oh, late. This is a foul. Definitely a yellow card for the youngster, Billy Afi, against Dominic Cox, who is a familiar face in the Australia Futsal Rose team. Considering the scoreline here, 2-1, and for a team, Solomon Kurukuru, who has been assembled by the interim coach, I think that's a fair result of their preparation. Probably they will gel more as a team in the next couple of days. But if Kurukuru is looking to spring a comeback to the next World Cup, this is the kind of matches they need against such opponents like Australia, who have been in the game of futsal for longer than the Solomon Islands. As Australia Futsal Rose putting more pressure, mounting pressure on the Solomon Islands Kurukuru. Brilliant service here at Friendship Hall. Kurukuru team, they haven't changed Alwyn Ho, and that shows how important or how vital of a player he is to this Kurukuru team here. Oh, good save here by the goalkeeper, Dominic, coming off his line and going for a header. For a moment, I thought he's a goal defender. But look at the crowd, very tuned to the game. A lot of the people come out from the office. Many of them come out from their homes. Some even just cross the river down in the central Honiara. Rafael Lea with another shot here. Sails over the crowd from a rebound. Solomon Islands chasing the game. We're approximately 2 minutes before final time. Alvin O'Kenny set the ball! Ball goes over the goalkeeper and just slides up in the front of the goal. Imagine if that went in, the crowd would probably erupt and go in the court themselves. Close one here. Probably just a little bit of someone there to scoop it up, and it would be a fantastic goal for Solomon Islands. And you can tell by the way they have a lot of slippery, I would say, on the court. It's from the sweaty players trying to get onto the ball, the final one. But some good ball work there by Solomon Kurukuru. Futsal Rose knows really well they are leading by a slim lead. If they could get one more here, they could definitely put the game out of reach for the Kurukuru team. We're less than a minute to the end of the match, and the Solomon Kurukuru knows really well what's at stake. Futsal Rose build-up play through Ethan. Finds Dominic, back to Ethan. Ethan tries to find the skipper here, not so handy. Can Kurukuru mount up a late equalizer in this one? Anthony Talo goes to find Charlie Ote now, couldn't do so. And a timeout here called by the Australian coach, Donny Miles, and this will definitely be the last timeout and probably the last action of the match. But the scores 2-1 is a good reflection of the game so far. I would say Solomon Kurukuru had probably some of the clear chances in the last patches of the game to get on the scoreboard, but couldn't do so. But then for the Futsal Rose team, it's all about maintaining the score. They have 2 more matches here out of the 3 series. And thanks to Australian government through the PacificAus Sport, now we have a international feature here. And this is actually the second series. The first one was in Australia, where Solomon Islands played. They had a 2-all draw. They lost 3-2 and lost the last one 5-3. Close game encounters between these two sides. It goes to show the level of futsal between Australia and Solomon Islands. Now we're into the second series here in Solomon Islands, Honiara. And I can tell you, Solomon Islanders, they love futsal. They love the game. They're passionate about it. And so whenever we have an international match, definitely a lot of people will turn up to watch and enjoy. And especially this time around, some people have dinner and some chill at their couches. Probably some in the taxis, some in the buses, tuning into this live stream. Hello to you wherever you are. Hopefully you're enjoying the match so far. As Australia Futsal Rose leading 2-1. Solomon Islands Kurukuru trailing just by 1 goal, and probably the last action of the game here. Futsal Rose look to probably seal off this game, probably with a goal or just by managing it to an end here. Fonito Daniel Pati brings up play. Sami Kiri of Solomon Islands. Grant here. Alvin Ho tries to close the game down. Charlie Oteno managed to do so. A kick in for Australia. Futsal Ross deep inside the Solomon Kurukuru half. Pati has one player to block and hits this player. Anthony Talo comes up very quickly off his line. He reads the game well, really well. The goalkeeper for Solomon Islands, Anthony Talo. And Australia again, throw a shot here, Giovanni Wade. We've already reached 20 minutes of the game. Now it all comes down to the officials whenever they will signal the end. Alvin Ho tries to get the ball here. And the number 9 for Australia, Grant, who has caused a lot of problems for Alvin Ho with a more bigger physical side to him compared to Alvin. Now Solomon Islands stepping up. Pressure here. Alvin Ho tries to win the ball back. Managed to do so. It's Sami here. There's only one player. Can he find Pati here? Can Pati finish? No, maybe two. Too much weight on that ball here. And the Australian goalkeeper experienced against a much younger opponent. Paddy. J-Roll Patti of Solomon Islands. And probably that's the 5th foul. We'll have to confirm with the officials here. But the first touch from Patti let him down on this occasion. If he had chested more closely to him, he could have finished that one. But then again, the experience of Dominic wouldn't be taken out of context here. He knows really well. He reads the game really well. And he comes out of his line just in the nick of time to save the game. So yes, it's still 4 fouls, I believe, not 5. If it's 5 fouls, they'll have a 10-meter penalty. Australia 2, Solomon Islands 1. Known by their names as Futsal Ross and Kurukuru. The Solomon Islands Kurukuru is a bird, well native to the western side of Solomon Islands. And they have been flying in the Pacific for quite some time now. Oh, good block here by Alvin Ho against his counterpart, the number 8, Fonito Daniel, who has been superb for Futsal Rose, the number 8 here. Australian Futsal Rose knows really well to take time as much as possible because they have only a few seconds before game end here. Grant goes back to Daniel. Daniel checks. Grant's open up space here. Ote now saves well. Giovanni Wade to the dangerous man, Guerreiro Jordan. Alvin Ho almost wins the ball out for Solomon Islands. Futsal Rose putting more of the attack here. Samkiri pressure up here. Solomon Islands wins the ball in the halfway line. Probably a couple of seconds before the end. Can they get one here? A goal here from Solomon Islands could definitely set up things for the next match. But can Futsal Rose manage themselves? They look to have all it takes to manage themselves with the likes of Giovanni Wade, who has been excellent when it comes to controlling the ball, the number 6 for Futsal Rose. But this man here, see, he got even some skills over his sleeves. The number 8, now Solomon Islands 10s, Pati, can he beat one? Managed to go, tries to find Sami Kiri, couldn't get it to the end of the ball. And Solomon Islands again tries to win the ball, couldn't do so. Australia still with the ball here. Futsal Rose builds up play. Giovanni Wade keeps play on the back. It's the number 5, Guerreiro Jordan. Giovanni Wade to Daniel. Checks. Decides to go back to Wade. Wade to Jordan. Jordan to Grant. Jordan comes and check. Grant 10 tries to beat Alvin Ho. Goes for a second attempt. And Solomon Islands going for a quick change of subs. Introducing Rafael Leai, Jeffrey Bule, and Charlie Otenau. We're 2 minutes into, well, over the 20 minutes mark. Game builds up play. Alvin Ho checks. Tries to go through the defense line. Probably not the best option here. Cleared by Alvin again. Futsal Rose knows really well. Time is ticking. Wade going for the first time. Way above the goal. Solomon Islands again. Can they get one back? Anthony Talo restarts play to Alvin Ho. Alvin Ho brings up play. Still in the own half. Goes to Bule. Bule tries to find Rafael. Not a good pass by Bule here. And the captain decides to tell his players to keep the pressure down. Well, it's a couple of minutes over the 20 minutes mark, and we're just waiting on the official to finish the game whenever he sees shooting. But what I encounter here, Australia, 2 goals, 1 goal difference, I would say. Now Rafael Lea building play again. Goes past one, tries to find Charlie Ote now, couldn't do so. It's Australia finding more pressure here. Solomon Islands putting pressure through Rafael Lea. Rogan loses the ball, and it's Solomon Islands building play deep inside the Australian half. Rafael Lea to Charlie Ote now, going for a first time shot. And been turned around by the captain. Australia going for the far ball. Shot here, saved by Talo. Can Rafael beat? Oh, he tries to go past the defender and taken out clearly by the number 14, Jamie Deeb. He knows really well if he allows him to go, that could be a crucial moment in the game. And I would say deliberate foul here by Jamie, who I have praised him a lot of the time about his quality playing the ball, not so much about his tackle. And on that occasion, he has fouled Rafael Lea, the marksman for Solomon Islands. I would say the talisman here, who the crowd is tuning up to. He spikes a lot of positive from this game. If there's one to create something from this one, it would be definitely Rafael Lea. And the crowd are loving the reaction to the ball. Came off the camera crew on the side lines. Solomon Islands. Rafael Lea. Chaliote now. Shots blocked again by number 7, Rogan of Futsal Rose. Solomon Islands with a quick one from Rafael Lea. Tries to catch the goalkeeper off guard. Couldn't do so. And Australia, Futsal Rose, they know really well. They just need to manage time here. And so far, the Solomon Islands are trying to get 1 goal here just to give the fans a little bit extra something to take home, I would say. A draw here would be like having a barbecue and going back home with it. Squeezed inside their own half. Solomon Islands, Kurukuru builds play. Quite promising to see a young side like Kurukuru taking on a much experienced Australian Futsal Rose. Jeffrey Bule finds Charlie Oteno, tries to 10, couldn't do so. Rogan for Australia Futsal Rose, the number 11, Ethan, finds Jamie. Not a good ball by Jamie. Tries to find his captain here on that occasion. Anthony Talo decides to come up and be the 6th man here. He checks Bule again. And not a good play here by Bule. Futsal Rose now in possession of the ball. Intensity has never decreased in this match. They've maintained it. And there you go, the final whistle. Australia 2, Solomon Islands 1, courtesy of the Australian government through the PacificAus Sport, bringing you such a match here. Well, we've seen quite the match here, quite anticipated action here. You want more? Come on Friday night to enjoy another classical battle between these two countries. But what a match. And for Solomon Islands, this is a good start. And for Australia, they look forward to the next match. Well, the final score, Australia 2, Solomon Islands 1. Have a good night and good evening to all of you tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next match.
We wish to acknowledge the and Australia. Just to keep us on schedule, this coming Friday we'll have the second series of this international friendly between Solomon Islands and Australia. Same venue, same time here this coming Friday. From then, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate your time being here. Thank you both teams for showing us a very good talented and exciting match for this afternoon, this evening. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. From then, see you on Friday. Thank you very much.
Too good.
Hey, this fella too good. We need the Australian government to pay you some money. You acknowledge them like 500 times.
Hey. Too good game. Now we look forward to the next game. Not bad, yeah? Man.
2-1,
Especially Kurukuru train on 2 weeks. Yeah, and a new team. Fuck. That's
If it wasn't for the keeper,
yeah.
the keeper was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Some music, huh?
Let's go Dixon Kadauma.